Dio, we don't need the intro, we just want to see part 2, okay? Kicking off part 2, we have a robot from Mega Man 5, based on a mode of transportation, no less. And if Charged Man came to mind, then you're so Zeta slow. I'm talking about GYRO Man. His design is based on that of a helicopter, which I find cool. As you would expect, his stage takes place in the sky, featuring an assortment of airborne enemies. There are a couple of tricky parts, like the area with the spiky droppers and the falling platforms, and the elevator area with the spikes. The fight, however, is relatively easy. He'll attack you with his gyro cutter either on the ground or from the sky. When he does go airborne, you'll need to keep moving or he'll get the drop on you. Quite literally. His gyro attack is a cool weapon. It's a bladed propeller which you can send up or down at will. It's much better than that charge kick, which ironically looks like it would fit in Smash. Which reminds me. Bottom line, for his stage, his design, and his weapon, GYRO Man definitely deserves his props. And cue facepalm! I'll be honest with you. I did not expect Mega Man and Bass to be released in America. The Super Famicom original was first released in 1998 when the Super NES was more or less dead in America. But I'm glad we got it on Game Boy Advance. It gave us Bass as a playable character, an extensive database, and several neat robot masters. The first of these on the list is Ground Man. This is one tough-looking robot. Let's start there, with his design. Just take a look at those 8 drills on his body and tell me he doesn't look intimidating. I like that. His stage takes place in an underground ruin, which features quicksand, giant worms, a mini-boss that has way more health than it should, spinning platforms, an alternate path, and these things. As for the fight, Groundman will attack you by charging at you in his tank form, burrowing into the ground, attacking you from above with a massive drill, and firing a spread drill array. Once you beat him, you get the spread drill, which can be split twice to cover more area. It's a pretty useful weapon, befitting this tank of a robot master. Overall, Groundman makes it on here with a cool design and weapon, and lands at the number 39 spot with little trouble at all.
From the people who brought you Gemini Man, I have a new product for you people. Enter Mega Man 1's Gutsman. He is our most powerful robot yet. He lives in a mine. He has ladders that can kill you. He has meteors. And the best part, the music. Oh my god, this music is awesome. And his design makes him look like a murderer. Yeah! The fight with him is also very sweet. He comes down to like, fuck you player, you're fighting me now. I'm hardcore. And his stage is all hard as all hell. Hard like his robot body. And his weapon, you are invincible. You can chuck stuff. You can blow off any obstacle in the way. You are Superman. Gutsman! Get him today, talking about it just makes me so excited! Oh my god! You know something, you should buy him! Get him today! Gutsman!
Brought to you by Dakota Guys 50 World Masters List.
At number 37, we have the second member of the Genesis unit, STORMH. The H in this guy's name stands for Hakai, as in Sho Hakai, which is the Japanese reading of Zhubaji, another character from Journey to the West. This novel happens to be the running theme of the Genesis unit. His stage once again takes place at a dig site and incorporates several obstacles from Mega Man 3. The dropping footholds from Shadow Man's stage, the spinning conveyor belts from the Spark Man level, the dropping needles from Needle Man stage. Yeah, it's quite the mixed bag. I like it. As for the fight itself, Yeah, you are seeing this right. He has 2 health bars. And this guy is so strong that he can pull you in and push you away with his breath. On top of that, he's so heavy that he brings down meteors every time he jumps. But being designed for sheer power, he's kinda dumb. As in, he won't get out of the way of a bomb. Still, Hyperstorm H is a cool boss. Don't call him a pig, though.
They call me Mr. Pig!
A Robot Master so nice you face him twice, Gemini Man is quite the narcissist. Of course, given the fact that he can generate clones of himself, and that he looks as though he's made out of raw crystals, that's completely understandable. His stage starts out on what looks like an alien world. As you shoot your way through penguins and satellites, you eventually come to a hatch that Proto-Man blows open, revealing the way into a psychedelic cavern where you deal with space tadpoles, giant penguins, dragonflies, and torpedo-shooting fish. Yeah, I don't know. When you finally get to Gemini Man, he'll start by creating a clone of himself and begin running and jumping in a circle around the room, only shooting when you shoot. The clone breaks at half health, at which point he'll start to shoot his Gemini laser. It's a fun and a challenging fight. The Gemini laser itself is kind of slow, but it does have the advantage of bouncing off the walls. But I have to wonder, what does it have to do with the constellation? Probably as much as everything else about his stage. Still, this is one cool Robot Master. Or masters, depending on how you look at it. You are a man who is a horse who is a robot, making you Man-Horse Man-Bot. So yeah, Centaur Man gets a bit of a bad rap, but personally, I disagree with the haters. I mean, how can you go wrong with a robot based on Greek mythology? As for his stage, well, it's the requisite water level. Most people think this doesn't make sense, but I have to disagree. Centaur Man represents Greece in this game, which is a coastal nation. But I have another theory. His stage is called the Ancient City, which is most likely the sunken city of Atlantis. But hey, that's just a theory. A game! Anyway, after dealing with pelicans, spikes, cloud subs, and upside-down water, you fight Centaur Man himself. He attacks by freezing you with his Centaur Flash, firing a shot that splits apart when it hits the wall, and teleporting around the room. Not too bad, but it is kind of easy. His Centaur Flash is a decent weapon, and while it deals damage to surrounding enemies, I still prefer the Centaur Arrow you get in Mega Man 2 The Power Fighters. Still, Centaur Man's not bad for a half-man, half-horse.
Of course!
Shut up, Bison! Saturn was established in 1985 as a subsidiary of General Motors and, wait, that was the Saturn Car Company. Whoops, we want the Star Droid. Okay, of all the Star Droids, Saturn is the only one that actually resembles the planet he's based on. I mean, he has the ring and everything, so he definitely has a good design going for him. So, what do I think of his stage? Well, it's, for lack of a better term, weird. The primary features of this level are areas that either double the gravity, making your jumps lower, or cut it in half, which makes your jumps higher. On top of that, there are enemies which can slow you down until they either die or leave the screen. As for the fight itself, Saturn's ring is his main method of attack. He'll either toss it to the other side of the room and slide across, or he'll use it to create a black hole to draw you in. Yikes. He also has the power to Zawarudo your ass, taking the opportunity to fire a circle of shots. When you defeat him, you get the black hole, which sucks in some enemies and creates energy balls to pick off the rest. That is awesome. So yeah, Saturn's got a strange design and stage, but hey, for me, strange is good. Too bad the brand got shut down.
One thing that I love the most about Mega Man and Bass is that every Robot Master is memorable. So memorable that I have a hard time deciding which is my favorite. One thing's for sure, Capcom definitely hit it on the right path with Pirate Man. Pirate Man is a fearless, money-loving robot master that's also an enemy of Dive Man's. And even though he's got one of the easiest stages in Mega Man and Base, he makes up for it quite a bit by making a water level pretty enjoyable. The tiles are reused from Aquaman's stage from Mega Man 8, as are the enemies, but it also features the bubble generators from Tengu Man's stage in Mega Man 8. His design is pretty similar to your stereotypical pirate captain, though I can't be the only one wondering why his sprite and artwork have his patch on his left eye, but his mugshot has it on his right. It's also worth mentioning that he has not one, but 2 hooks for a hand. As for the fight with him, if you don't get his pattern down, Pirate Man can quickly become one of the toughest robot masters in the game. Basically, Pirate Man stands on the right side for the majority of the battle, shooting a few remote mines at you, which also have a slight homing effect. And it's easy to forget about the range they have. Pirate Man will also seal himself inside of a bubble, not only to prevent you from damaging him, but also as a method of attack. If you don't burst it quick enough, it'll repeatedly charge across the battlefield. It's not too bad to dodge as Mega Man if you have good enough timing, but it can be a nightmare for Base. And not only do you have to deal with that, but also the fact that the water level slowly decreases as the battle goes on. And if it's low enough, dodging Pirate Man's attacks becomes more of a pain. But when the water level is low enough, Pirate Man will raise it again, an opportune time to get a few free hits in. But by far, the best part about Pirate Man is the weapon you obtain from beating him, the remote mine. How it works is this. By pressing B, Mega Man or Base will fire a remote mine, and using the up and down buttons on the control pad, you can maneuver it up and down until it sticks to a wall or an enemy, where pressing B again detonates it. Besides, what could be better than a robot pirate?
You want a piece of gardening? Come and get it!
I regret nothing!
Countdowns on motorcycles!
Okay, now that that joke's out of the way, let's talk about Nitro Man from Mega Man 10. This guy is definitely built for the road. Like Turbo Man, his design is based off a vehicle, except I happen to like Nitro Man's design better. Since motorcycles are freaking awesome, Nitro Man's stage takes place on a highway with some really kickin' music. You got enemies like helicopter meteors, vehicles with copter cannons on them, these charging shield enemies, and these areas with trucks that you have to jump on. Don't you dare say anything! So, after Nitro Man makes his stylish entrance, he'll come at you in his motorcycle form and throw his wheel cutters either from the ground or after riding up the wall. This fight is easy with the Chill Spike, but try doing it with the Buster. The wheel cutter is a cool weapon. It's sort of like a cross between the Metal Blade and the Search Snake, plus it lets you zip up walls faster than Knuckles. Sweet! With credentials like that, Nitro Man earns his place on the list, wheels down.
If there's one thing I love just as much as I love Knights, it's rock music. Now you might be asking me, see, what does this have to do with Top 50 Robot Masters? One of my favorite Robot Masters is named after rock. Punk rock, to be exact. Punk is the second Mega Man killer created by Dr. Wily to destroy Mega Man. He attacks using Screw Crusher, which he turns into a spike ball and charges at you. He's very tough due to how much damage he can deal, and none of the weapons in Mega Man 3 besides the Mega Buster work on him. He also appears in Mega Man 10 as a DLC. Sweet! And his theme is so catchy you could headbang to it. Kaiji Inafune has stated that he especially likes Punk, so much that he included him in Mega Man Battle Network series, and insisted on redesigning him personally. Shows how much he loves punk rock.